Chris Robinson joins me now. Chris, we've learnt tonight that this was a deliberate action.
Well, yes, this came out in a press conference which was held earlier this evening by the people investigating what happened. Now, what we know is that the Hercosauker left Southampton bound for Germany when she began to list, and there was a real fear that the ship itself was going to capsize. Now, what we were told is that the ship's pilot and the master made a quick-thinking decision to head towards Bramblebank to save both the ship and, of course, her crew.
Well, Chris Robinson is live outside the Guildhall for us tonight. And Chris, the campaigners really want to make their point in a rather visual way.
Well, that's right, Sally. More than 200 people are here outside the Guildhall in Winchester city centre, where an average property price of a two-bedroom home will cost you between £250,000 and £350,000. But what the demonstrators are protesting against is the lack of affordable homes here in Winchester city centre, and more specifically, the Silver Hill development. In Berkshire, there was a 30-fold increase to its IAP budget from when it first started. In the last financial year, it was given just under £6 million. The number of patients who entered treatment offered by NHS Solent in Portsmouth and Hampshire went up by 2,000. And in Dorset and Southampton, staffing levels more than doubled last year from its 2010 start. It's a species never before seen, but how the fossil was found was something of a fluke. Back in 2009, a holidaymaker hunting for fossils here on Sandown Beach stumbled across something rather unusual. She took it to the nearby Dinosaur Museum and they said it could be part of a crocodile skull. But what happened next was rather remarkable. 3 months later, a father and son found another part of the skull, this time the snout, and when both were reunited, they fitted together perfectly.
Well, our reporter Chris Robinson joins me. Chris, what do we know then? Well,
what we know so far is that this has been confirmed by Lee Cross. He's a very close friend of Carl Law, who's been out to Prague several times to try and find him. And he confirmed to us very sad news this morning that identification has taken place. Now, Lee is also the man whose stag party Carl had been on in the Czech capital, Prague, when he disappeared on November the 15th. In the South Today area, there were 114 deaths on rural roads last year. During the same period, there were just 7 deaths on our stretch of the motorways. That's 16 times more deaths on rural roads. Wellington College boasts its own cricket ground and excels at boys rugby. Past alumni include the England player James Haskell. It can cost just over £8,000 a term here to be a day student, but should going to an independent school matter when it comes to being good at competitive sport? Well, shoppers are already hitting the high street with less than 2 months to go until Christmas, but where there's demand, there's also supply, and things need to be taken to shops to buy. Things like this plastic also needs to be taken to businesses. It's transported in heavy good vehicles, but the industry itself is facing a few problems. Over the next 2 years, more than 45,000 HGV drivers are set to retire, but there aren't many people left to replace them. Well, I'm joined now by Bob Terrace from Meachers Global Logistics. Bob, what are the problems the industry are facing? Molly here was lucky. When firefighters rescued her, she was black and had to be resuscitated. Thankfully, she's made a full recovery.
Well, Chris Robinson has the details. Chris.
Well, Laura, this is definitely a history lesson where the past's been brought alive thanks to Felicity and Jürgen here. I'm at Wickham Church of England Primary School, where all morning children have been learning how to sow their own seeds in a bid to grow their own crop. Now, they've been learning what life was like more than 1,000 years ago when the Saxons lived here. I've been finding out more. Well, I'm joined now by Mr. Beach. Good afternoon, Mr. Beach. It all looks like a lot of fun. What is the message the children are hoping to get from this?
Well, I'm hoping they can learn how to prepare the land as the Saxons, their forefathers, did, the Mianmar people in this area, and grow lots of wheat from the project.
You're having lots of fun there, aren't you? What are you doing?
We're learning about the Saxons.
And you like to do this at home too, James, yes?
Yes, very much, because I got a patch of weeds in the back of my garden and I want to sow some winter wheat.
Well, hopefully if you ask your parents when you get home, they might let you plant some in the garden. Now, we're going to continue having a lot more fun here in Wickham, and you can see what we've been up to at 6:30 on South Today. Back to you.
Chris, it aired last night and has got some mixed reactions.
Well, of course, it's something we've been following for the past few months. The furious rows, the alleged threats, the claims and the counter-claims. But last night, the residents of Derby Road, the residents of Southampton and, of course, the rest of the UK got their chance to sit and watch Immigration Street. And South Today was invited to watch the programme go out with some of the campaigners against it.
It just proves that they value good TV over community safety.
Well, one of the people who took part in the filming of the Channel 4 documentary was Terry Palmer. Now, he contacted South Today through our Facebook page to say he was upset that the programme was reduced from 6 episodes to just 1.
Disappointed, really. I think the programme should be able to be able to run and listen to what everyone's got to say.
Chris, we've had a lot of reaction to this on our Facebook page as well, haven't we?
Yes, that's right. You've been contacting us throughout today, and thank you for all of your comments. People like Linda Boyer commented, "I thought it was a wasted opportunity." She said the idiotic and prohibitive behaviour of some residents have perhaps made the area out to be far worse. Janice Andrews agrees, saying the residents of Derby Road missed a real opportunity to show how a multiracial street can live in complete harmony. And Mike Davies added, "It was just a small minority that wanted to cause trouble. The programme itself showed the community spirit of the area." Of course, you can comment on this story or anything else we feature on South Today on our Facebook page. Back to you.